Hi, I'm Lorella, not a farm girl on a homestead adventure.
Hi, I'm Elizabeth from Branscum Farm.
The long-awaited day is finally here. I'm gonna bring home some rabbits. Elizabeth is gonna show me the rabbits that she has chosen for me to get. I trust her. She breeds for good genetics. She shows rabbits. She's got some experience behind her. We've been talking for probably a couple months about this. She's helping me learn everything I need to do so that I will get a good start, a good foundation with my rabbitry. So who do we have here on the table?
This is a broken red New Zealand. He doesn't have a name yet. He just goes by his ear number.
So we'll have to come up with a name.
Yes.
You guys want to help me give him a name?
He'll need a name. And this is a buck that we have here. So.
Hello. How long have you been breeding rabbits?
I have been breeding for about 2 years. When I first started off, I just got into meat rabbits that were not pedigreed, and once I started raising them, the hobby of showing interests me, and I have a young daughter, and she really loves that, and so that's when we got into the pedigreed New Zealands.
And you're a science teacher, aren't you?
Yes, I'm a science teacher.
So the genetics application is probably, you kind of nerd out on that a little bit?
A lot. Yeah.
A lot of it.
Yeah, I really like the genetics part of it and learning all the colors and things that the rabbits can throw.
And you said your daughter is showing rabbits?
Yes.
And how old is she?
She's 5.
That's amazing that she can do that at that
Mm-hmm.
age. So does she have to tell the judges anything about the rabbit, or what does she have to do to show?
Yes, they have showmanship, and so at our county fair she did that, and she just has to tell them what her breed is, what the variety is, what she feeds them, how she takes care of them, just the basics because of her age. Once they get older, they have more skills that they have to do for the judges.
Right.
So
that's another really cool aspect of homesteading that people, I don't think, always realize. Especially some kids are homeschooled, or they're on the farm all the time, and people think, well, how are they doing socially? Well, they're getting out there, they're talking about animals, they're learning public speaking at 5 years old. She's never going to be afraid of it because she'll have grown up doing it. She can teach.
Yep.
Like, she knows enough. I know we were on a call, and she's in the back seat telling me things about rabbits, and it was stuff that I didn't know that I needed to know. So I think that's a really valuable skill that she has. She's also learning about. Does she know that these guys produce meat for your family?
Yes, she knows that, and which we don't let her see like the killing part of it yet.
Right.
But when we bring them in, she helps me package them. When we put them in the freezer, she helps me cook them. And
so age appropriate as each parent decides for their own child how much information they need to know. But they learn the value of raising food that's going to be a healthy meat source for your family. They're learning self-sufficiency. They're learning recycling. They're learning gardening. They're learning all sorts of things. Rabbits, there's so many products you can get from rabbits. Business skills eventually when you learn how to sell and barter, and so I think it's really valuable.
Yep. At 5 years old, she already has a passion for them. And, rabbit shows are all day affair. And, she's 5. She gets bored sometimes, but there's other kids there, and the youth is amazing. They help her put them in the cages because she's still short and she can't really quite reach
up
it.
on the judges' table.
All the other youth are like, "Oh, you're so cute. We can't believe you're 5 and doing this." And it's really
a community as well. So she's building a community.
Yep.
So if you haven't yet, you need to go to Elizabeth's page. Yep. We will have a link in the description. We'll put a card up here to a video. I'm going to put a card up here to the video where I first saw Elizabeth. I just randomly came across it, I think on Facebook, or it came up in my suggested feed, and it was Carly, and she was younger then, sitting on the floor playing with rabbits and talking about them, and I fell in love with her, and that's how we became friends. So I'll put a link to that up here, so make sure you go over there and subscribe. Your poor puppy. We have the puppy in puppy jail.
Yeah.
So she won't be jumping on us while we're doing this. So if you hear the puppy in the background, she's okay.
She's fine.
She just wants to be with us. My rabbitry is done. Last weekend, I went to Arkansas and I got my rabbits from Elizabeth Branscum. When you have rabbits, you should do a monthly health check on them just to make sure they are in good condition. And if you're going to buy rabbits, you should be able to check them as well. I have watched lots and lots of videos on people checking their rabbits. It's not the same as doing it hands-on. So Elizabeth was kind enough to give me a little lesson. Now I know you're not supposed to grab the rabbit by the scruff.
Well, you can if you support them.
Okay.
So like sometimes you have to kind of scruff them a little bit, but as long as you get them under the body and you're not just holding them by the scruff,
okay,
then that's okay. So you always want to try to keep them close to your body. Don't ever like grab them by the ears. And then whenever I set them down, you just check in their ear and make sure that they're clear of ear mites. You can kind of feel it down in there. It'll look like it's scabbed. So if it looks like there's a scab, then that is ear mites, and you just check both of the ears. You can really feel it. But it just looks like if you ever got like a scrape or a scratch.
Okay, and how far down in there do you feel?
As far as you can feel. So you just want to make
quite
sure.
a ways. You can reach
you
them.
can feel, because you might not be able to see them, but you can feel them before you can see them.
So, my finger, you probably can't see up there, is in the ear completely, about that far, almost to my first knuckle. Okay.
And then you just want to feel over them, make sure you don't feel any like abscesses or any injuries or anything like that. If they're in good coat, whenever you roll your hands over them, they should go back down. So they shouldn't like fly up and stay. So if you see here at the top, that's where she's starting to get in a new coat.
Okay.
And so you want it to like fly back. See how in the back it flies back. So you know they're in good condition when they're like that. And if you put your hands over them, when you look at them, you just make their feet parallel with their eyes.
Right. Now, how tight, how snug are you holding here? Like, are you keeping her head still, or just snug enough to feel comfortable to her?
I just leave just enough to keep
Show me
her
on my hand what kind of pressure
like
you're
this.
putting. Oops, sorry.
Like this. Now, if
a little
you
bit
need
more
to,
than I was.
then you can always give a little bit. You can always squeeze a little bit harder if you need.
Okay.
It won't hurt them to just squeeze, because sometimes they don't like being held.
Yeah, and she doesn't know me much.
Yeah.
It's okay, Mama.
And so then you want to feel over them, and you shouldn't feel like
She's so soft.
you shouldn't feel their backbone. So if you feel her, like
She's like stuffed animal soft. I'm sorry.
Do you see how you don't really feel the backbone?
Right, not unless I like dig down for it.
And
But
so,
not just doing this, I don't.
If they're getting enough feed, then you can feel the vertebrae, but you shouldn't be able to feel it with like unless you're just really pushing down.
Right. So right now, no, I don't feel it. Okay.
And so you really want that meat, and you just feel how it really goes, and it's kind of thick.
Yeah.
So that's what they should feel like, all the way down to the table. And then right here at their loin, you really want that to be like firm.
Okay.
So you feel that one.
Mm-hmm. Like
and then,
right here. So
yeah, and you can almost like grab right above her.
So that's her leg.
That's her leg. So you can really just like, if you squeeze right here, you can really just feel how thick that is.
Okay.
And so that's part of the back strap, and so like that's the main part of the meat that you're eating. So you really want that full.
Gotcha.
I can get another rabbit out that's not as good.
Oh, that'd be
and
great.
We can,
and compare.
You can compare. So she's a really good. She has a really good body on her.
I can't believe how soft she is. She's amazing. Okay.
Yeah. And then whenever you flip them over, so you want
show
to
me
put.
how you would do
You'll
that.
put like a finger between their ears, like this, and you actually squeeze pretty tight to like restrain their head, and you put your thumb and your forefinger around it, and you almost like grab with the back part of your head to like really almost scruff them.
Okay.
And then you flip them over, and then you want to make sure you maintain control of the head and pull them back, and it kind of puts them in that paralyzed state.
Okay.
And then you can check their fingernails and make sure they have all their nails and all their
How
toenails.
many should they have? 4?
They should have 4 back feet and 5 on the front. They have a dew claw on the front, or they don't have it on the back. You can look at their their nose, so you want to make sure that they don't have any like green or nasty discharge.
Okay.
In the summer months, if they start getting a wet nose, then you know they're starting to get overheated.
Okay.
And so you need to make sure you really watch them so they don't
Okay.
Get heat stroke or heat exhaustion. Yeah, you can pull their finger. It's okay. Pull their teeth up, and you want to check for malocclusia. It's
Which
okay.
is?
If their teeth are not aligned properly. And
Okay.
so see how they overlap just a little bit?
Yes.
If one is growing a lot longer than the other one, and you can't really hold them like that for a long period of time.
Okay, sure.
If they're growing really long, then that is a genetic problem called malacolusia, and it makes it where they can't eat as well.
All
Calm
right.
down. And then whenever you carry them anywhere, you tuck them like a football, and you put their head in your armpit,
Okay.
and then you just grab them like this, and then if you really need to...
Are you left-handed?
No, but, well...
You've been handling
yes,
a rabbit left-handed.
Yeah, I'm like ambidextrous.
Gotcha.
So you can also like then kind of grab them at the scruff to like maintain them, because they feel safe if they're tighter and closer to
like
you.
a baby that's swaddled.
Yes.
Okay.
And then if they start kicking, they're kicking away from you and not getting your arms. Because like
Gotcha.
right now she's kicking my belly.
Yeah.
So.
5 years ago, I moved my family from the city to the farm to learn how to raise our own animals for food and also grow vegetables and all sorts of stuff. Be sure and subscribe so you can see every video that comes out. Hello, you're gonna come home with me. Hey, buddy. Hey, buddy. Let's go inside and meet the rabbits. Here is our doe rabbit. And there's our buck. They're both New Zealand reds. She's a full New Zealand red and he's a New Zealand broken red. We need your name suggestions for these two rabbits. We are taking suggestions from classic literature. You got a favorite book that you had as a child? Or maybe that book you had to read in high school that turned out to be better than you thought it would? We're taking names that are your favorite characters or authors. Put those in the comments below and we will add them to our suggestions that we are taking from Facebook and Instagram and YouTube. Once we have narrowed the selections down to our favorites, we're going to put up a poll and let you make the final decision. Peeking around the corner, smelling things. Hey, buddy. Yeah, that's her food. You go underneath there? What's going to happen? Are you going to go all the way beyond? There you go. That's it. Hey, buddy. Hey, Mama, what do you think about him out and around? I let the buck rabbit out today for the first time on grass. He will pretty much let me pick him up. The doe won't so much yet, so I trust him a little bit better out here than I do her. Right now, I'm just gonna let him explore a few minutes and then put him back in the cage. Thank you so much. We'll see you next time. The Rooster Crows.